The trucks you want are at Denny Menhol Rapid Chevrolet. Get savings up to $5,500 off MSRP on new 2023 Chevy Silverado Crew Cab 4x4s. That's right, $5,500 off. Buy with no money down and make no payments for 90 days. And all credit applications are accepted. New Chevy trucks are arriving daily with more inbound. Buy them before they get here and still get any available incentives. Find new roads at Denny Menhol Rapid Chevrolet or DennyMenholRapidChevrolet.com. The trucks you want.
Now that we're in the final quarter of the year, it's time to start thinking about the 2022 tax year. W-2s and 1099s are scheduled to be out in January, but don't worry, Jennifer Young's Bookkeeping Services has you covered. They stay on top of the ever-changing tax laws impacting small businesses and corporations. Jennifer Young's Bookkeeping has your best interests at heart. Don't wait until the last minute. Get a head start on your 2022 taxes. Call Jennifer Young or go to jenniferyoungsbookkeeping.com or find her on Facebook.
Family is the fabric of who we are. The generations that came before us and the ones that will carry on after. At Monument Health, we're dedicated to these communities because they're our communities. We're committed to building the healthcare system of tomorrow with medical knowledge and expertise you can trust close to home. Here to care, here to connect, here for you today and tomorrow. Monument Health.
Alternative Fuel Coffee House, located in downtown Rapid City, has been a staple since 2006, offering an espresso bar, smoothie bar, and more. If food is what you're looking for, check out their menu. Using local ingredients for their drinks and recipes is their way of showing how important shopping local is. Come in and visit them during skating and patio season for the best coffee experience in town. Who's filling up your cup? Alternative Fuel Coffee House. Looking to spruce things up for dinner tonight? Order online or by the Inferno's Food by Fire app for your best meal in Rapid City. Inferno's has the best Stonefire signature pizzas, sandwiches, and fresh salads. Build your own pizza all while watching the latest high school or NFL action. Even better, receive a 10% discount off your next order when you mention Live Ticket. That's at Inferno's Food by Fire.
If you want the peace of mind that your next pre-owned vehicle is the best it can be, you want Honda True, and you only find it at Denny Menhol Rushmore Honda. Our Honda certified pre-owned vehicles are thoroughly inspected and backed by 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage, up to 2 complimentary oil changes, 24/7 roadside assistance, inspection report, and 3-day exchange. You simply can't buy the wrong vehicle. Search our inventory at honda-true.com or see us at Denny Menhol Rushmore Honda. If you want the people...
Your first car. It might not have been perfect, but that didn't matter. You loved it because you worked hard for it. You took care of it, and it took care of you, your friends, and maybe that someone special. And through it all, we were there working with you, for you, to make sure it was a smooth ride. Farmers Union Insurance. More choices, great rates, local agents. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
Looking for a great used truck or SUV? Denny Menhol Toyota has them. Shop a great selection of half-ton trucks and SUVs, imports and domestics, brands like Ford, GMC, Subaru, Nissan, Jeep, and more. Plus, the area's best selection of used Toyotas, Toyota certified pre-owned. Buy with no money down, get financing on the spot with qualified credit. If we don't have exactly what you're looking for, we'll find it for you in our network of dealerships. See us at Denny Menhol Toyota or DennyMenholToyota.com. Looking for a great...
When it comes to protecting what matters most, keep it simple. Insure your car and home with Farm Bureau and you'll have a combined policy with one deductible that can cover it all. That means faster claim resolution and less hassle. Plus, you can save money in the long run. It's the quick way back to normal, because with Farm Bureau, you've got an agent who can make things right when things go wrong. Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Call me, Tom Berger, your Farm Bureau agent in Rapid City, at 348-3470.
Owned and operated by veterans, Black Mountain Painting provides interior, exterior, residential, and commercial painting services. With over 12 years of experience and a team of trusted paint experts, they bring the highest standard of work to the Black Hills area. They provide interior and exterior painting and custom staining needs. So if you have painting or staining needs inside or out, give Black Mountain Painting a call for your free quote today. 605-661-8612.
It's pride like never before and a true showcase of talent from high school to the collegiate level. It's the Lakota All-Star Basketball Games, April 29th on Live Ticket TV. Pay-per-view access will be available with all funds going back to help put on years of Lakota All-Star Games. With over 100 athletes participating from college to high school, you won't want to miss a fun day of Lakota All-Star Basketball Games on Live Ticket TV. It's pride like
afternoon and welcome to Game 2 of our doubleheader on Fox Sports Rapid City. It's the boys now who take to the court as Rapid City Stevens meets the Harrisburg Tigers in a double-A matchup. Hello once again, and thanks for joining us. Jerome Wickersham and Dean Gurr with you on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Welcome to the J&J Truck and Auto Body pregame show presented by J&J Truck and Auto Body. For the highest quality work and hassle-free customer service, let J&J get your vehicle back on the road. They make it easy by working with your insurance company and getting the repairs done. Just Google J&J Truck and Auto Body in Rapid City. So we're entering the final 5 games of the regular season for Rapid City Stevens. Right now they're sitting 17th in the AA standings. They're they lost 3 straight, so they're 4-11 overall. For the Harrisburg Tigers, they seem to be a team that's putting it together at the right time. The Tigers have won 3 in a row, and they're 10-6 overall, and they now moved up to the number 6 seed in the Class AA standings. Dean, yesterday for the Raiders, they shot 34% from the field, and they lost to Yankton by a dozen, 51-39. Hayden Gebhardt scoring 12 points for the Raiders, but again, the stretch here for the Raiders now, yesterday didn't help, and just trying to make that Sodak 16, it's a possibility, but will be a challenge for this Raider team.
Yeah, it definitely will be, and they're kind of in a similar situation the Raider girls are in. They're struggling to score. They're struggling to find somebody to put it in. Obviously, the Raiders have Talia Porter, so she does her thing, but they don't have anyone else that's stepping up significantly to make a contribution, and the Raiders are even less than that. They've had Taylor Segrist. He's such an anomaly. He comes up out of nowhere, does these amazing things, puts, double-digit portions of games. I can't even say double-digit games, because that is, but it's more like double-digit portions of games. He puts that together, and then he just disappears. He's done that multiple games that we've seen. I don't know what happened exactly over the weekend for him, but it happened last night. He didn't even get that double-digit game. I don't know how many points he had, but it wasn't a lot. I had a chance just to watch it, and he just wasn't there. And other players are trying to step up, and they are definitely playmakers. They've got athletes, but they can't seem to get it together. Coach Stabner, this is February. This is mid to now rolling into late February. You got just a few games left. You've got to be able to know who you've got on the floor, who you can trust, what sort of combinations. And I thought Coach Stabner was kind of starting to figure that out, but I don't think he's there yet. I think he's still trying to get that combination. He's got some bench players that come off and do a decent job, but again, they only have part of the game they're playing. The starters are just not contributing like they need to. So just all in all, just the big time effort, the big rebounds, the scoring is just not happening for the Raiders, and so that's going to continue, and it's not going to get any easier today against this team who we saw just absolutely played a mediocre game against the Cobblers until about one point in the game. I don't remember exactly where it was, but the Cobblers made a couple of plays, got a couple of big baskets, closed within a few points, and then Coach Langenrock calls a timeout, and from then on, basically Harrisburg took control and just rolled the Cobblers yesterday. So they just have that ability just to turn it on. That's kind of indignant of their season, up and down, inconsistent, and the Raiders they're also inconsistent, but they're more non-consistent than what they need to be. So the Raiders 4-11 on the season, while the Harrisburg Tigers are 10-6. Let's take a look at quickly at today's keys to the game, being brought to us by Dakota Discount RV. Find the key to building the lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. Take a look at their great selection of RVs at 2 locations, Dakota Discount RV across from Cabela's and also on JB Road in Blackhawk. Dean, what will it come down to this afternoon? Well, for Harrisburg, they got to be able to shoot and they got to be disciplined. Okay, choose a good shot for a better shot. Be disciplined when they're moving. They're going to get up and down the floor. They're going to shoot. As long as it goes in, they'll be just fine. For the Raiders, I'll just be frank. Taylor Segrist has to show up. Either that or someone else, but he's been kind of the big one, and when he doesn't show up, they really struggle. So they need Taylor Segrist, and they need to be disciplined as well. Rebounding and turnovers are going to be so huge for the Raiders today. And that's our keys to the game, being brought to us by Dakota Discount RV. As we look at the matchup this afternoon, today's Players to Watch is powered by High Plains Physical Therapy and Aquatic Therapy Center. Remember, you have a choice on who to see for physical therapy in Rapid City. With a state-of-the-art facility and one-on-one personalized treatment, get started at highplainspt.com. Dean, as far as these two teams, who should we be focused in on? Well, let's talk about Harrisburg. They got so many players, it's hard to really pick one of them, but probably the inside game of Maxwell Knutson. If they needs to be good. If they're not shooting, then he needs to have his game, Maxwell Knutson. And again, back to the Raiders, it's got to be Taylor Segrist. He has to show up for more than just a section of the game. He's got to carry this team along, and then other players have to step up. And again, that's our 2 players to watch this afternoon, and that's powered by High Plains Physical Therapy and Aquatic Therapy Center in Rapid City. Be sure to visit them at highplainspt.com. We are just moments away from the tip this afternoon. Rapid City Stevens 4-11 on the season. They have a 3-game losing streak coming into this ball game, just opposite of their opponent, who has a 3-game win streak. And the Harrisburg Tigers are 10-6 on the season. Right now, the Tigers, the number 6 seed in Class AA boys, while the Rapid City Stevens Raiders are number 17. They're on the outside looking in, trying to get into that top 16 to make the postseason play, which will be in just about 2 weeks now, or actually 3 weeks. So in about 3 weeks, they'll have the Kodak 16. So it'll be crucial coming down the stretch for the Rapid City Stevens Raiders. Let's look at today's starting lineups. They're being built by Connect Home Center, whether it's residential or commercial. Connect Home Center has been your hometown lumber yard since 1928. This is the starting lineup for the visiting Harrisburg Tigers. They will go with number 2, Ethan Detterman, a 6'3 senior guard. Number 11, Braden Van Bakkeren, had 20 points yesterday. He is a 6'3 junior guard. Number 12, Braden Feldy, a 5'10 sophomore. Number 23 is Max Knutson. He stands 6'4" and a senior. And number 24, Jacoby Meerman, a 6'4 junior guard. Head coach is Scott Langrock for the Harrisburg Tigers. And now for the Rapid City Stevens Raiders, their starting lineup looks like this. We have number 2, Hayden Gebhardt, a 6'2 senior guard. Number 3, Caden Dowling,
He is a 5'9" senior guard, as well as number 5, Nash Sobzak, a 6'4" senior forward. Number 11, Daylor Segrist. He stands 6'2" and a sophomore. And number 22, Madinko Holly, a 6'4" junior forward. Head coach in his 8th season for Rapid City Stevens is head coach Chris Stabner. And if I recall, Chris Stabner graduated from Harrisburg High School.
So he'd love to beat this team. Is that what you're saying?
I think he would love to. I think he would. Let's meet the official. The law on the court is brought to us by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Division of Consumer Protection. And, Dean, you're going to help me out with this afternoon.
Sure.
We have Ellen Schmaltz.
Yeah, Ellen Schmaltz, Dalton Wademan, and Brandon Kemp are officials today.
I could not think of Brandon's first name. So I appreciate that, Dean.
Yeah, sure.
And that is our officials. The law on the court brought to us by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Division of Consumer Protection. We are ready to tip things off. Again, these two teams squared off last year. And again, year to year, it's always different. Teams, or you lose players to graduation. Last year, Harrisburg won this game 71-64. But like we said yesterday, this Harrisburg team does not look like a 10-6 team.
No, they were definitely inconsistent early on. They're finally starting to roll a little bit, which is exactly where you want to be.
And the tip controlled by the Raiders in their home blue uniforms, but they throw it away, trying to get it from Dowling to Gebhardt.
Well, we knew big ones. Turnovers, rebounds. Turnovers, rebounds.
And the Raiders in their blue uniforms with the white numbers. And the Harrisburg Tigers in their white uniforms, driving and putting it up is going to be Meerman. His shot is short, no good. Almost 30 seconds gone by. Stevens with the basketball. Dowling left side to Gebhardt. Raiders going from left to right. As we sit high in the rafters here, and a 5-second call. A 5-second call on Hayden Gebhardt.
Yeah, he's like nobody was moving where he needed to. You saw him trying to, beckon with his eyebrows, but it just didn't happen.
So 2 turnovers, and now Segrist tried to save it. It went out of bounds. Segrist knocks it off of number 12, Braden Feldy.
Yeah, nice job by Segrist. Gets it, gets the tip, gets the spin back. That's what you want to see from him.
And we're going to take a look at the Kearney files in just a moment. In fact, another turnover by the Raiders. That's their third on 3 possessions.
Wow.
Again, a quick look at the Kearney files in boys basketball. Since 2018, Rapid City Stevens is 1-2 against Harrisburg. They beat them in 2020, 74-49. Ball's tapped around at the other end. The ball is loose. It's going to be into the hands of Meerman. Now right side, they get it over to Feldy. Feldy over to Van Bakker, now to Jacoby Meerman. They work it around. Detterman, the basketball, kicks it out to Knutson. Now to Meerman on that left wing. Meerman, the basketball, takes a step back, shoots just inside the arc, and knocks it down.
Yeah, that's one thing the Raiders are going to have to do. They're going to have to get after the ball because Harrisburg does it as well as anyone.
Here's Nash Sobzak looking inside. Instead, he goes to Segrist, top of the key, back to Sobzak. Sobzak to Holly in the low post. Spins to his left, now back to the baseline, gives the ball to Segrist. He pump fakes, takes a step back, shoots the 3. That's no good. A battle for the rebound. It is saved into the hands of Jacoby Meerman. He'll get into the front court. Backs his way in, spins to his left, puts up the shot, and Jacoby Meerman with his 4th point. Dean, like we were talking about with the Kearney files, the only 2 losses for the Raiders were single-digit losses, one by 7, one by 8 points. We'll see what happens here this afternoon. 4-0, Harrisburg with the lead. 5:48 to go on the State Farm scoreboard. The ball knocked out of bounds by Braden Van Bakker.
Man, they got such quick hands. They know where the ball's at, getting it right into the passing lane. Even though they don't get the ball out of that, that's just impressive at where their court awareness is. A couple of substitutions with Thomas Mardian, the 6'5 junior, wearing number 55, checking in, as well as number 23, Minka Holly, a 6'2 sophomore. Dowling looking for the bounce pass inside, but it's going to be a kick by number 12, Braden Feldy.
Nash Sobzak will trigger it in right in front of the Harrisburg bench.
And part of the issue yesterday, Kalen Brooks got fouls very early on and had to sit a lot, and he's such a spark coming off the bench for the Raiders.
Caden Dowling the basketball. At midcourt, dribbles to his right, hands the ball off to Minka Hawley, now left side, trying to get it, but Meerman gets the steal in transition. The bounce pass, the shot is up and good for Dieterman.
And Coach Stabner, his familiar grabbing his hair as little as he has of it. He's a little like me. Okay, so he's got more than me. Either way, the usual. It's like the turnover, and all of a sudden it's going the other way. They are so quick. You cannot turn the ball over, especially on the back end of the front court, because there's just you can't get back quick enough, and they transition so well from defense to offense.
5:22 remaining in the first quarter on the State Farm scoreboard. Harrisburg leading Rapid City Stevens 6-0 is the score. Over there at Howard Nas Gymnasium with 2 minutes left in the third quarter, it's Yankton 51, Rapid City Central 36. Right now, the Cobbler boys, they were number 14 in the Class AA standings.
Yeah, the Raiders and Cobblers getting set for that game next Friday night. Going to be a huge one as far as seeding points go.
Absolutely. Here's Sobzak now for the Raiders. Drives to his right. Puts up a tough shot, no good. Marty in there for the rebound. Had the ball knocked out of his hands. Gets it back. Marty kicks it outside. Dowling's going to shoot the three, and it's good for Caden Dowling.
Boy, that's a welcome shot for the Raiders. To get him on the board and to get someone other than Segrist to score.
Van Bakker in the basketball. Right side gets it to Dieterman. Now back out front. Feldy the basketball. Left side, they go to Van Bakker. He drives the baseline. Tough shot, puts it up, bounces around the rim, no good. Sobzak grabs the rebound for the Raiders. There's the outlet pass to Dowling. 3-point Harrisburg lead as Dowling crosses the midcourt. Crossover dribble. Left side to Minka Hawley. And then miscommunication there, cutting in there to the basket was Segrist, and he throws the ball behind him and out of bounds.
Yeah, Segrist is one to cut to the basket. He loves to get that cut inside to make his move, that type of thing. He's usually not one who settles on the outside, so just that miscommunication.
4 turnovers for the Raiders in this first quarter. Meerman into the left corner. There's a three from the corner. That's an air ball. The ball is loose. It's going to be picked up by Segrist. Segrist in the front court. Now they go to Hawley. Minka Hawley to Dowling, right corner. Kalen Brooks backs his way in, kicks it outside. Hawley over to Segrist. Segrist to Dowling on the left wing. Dowling back out front to Brooks. Brooks has a pass, shoots from the free throw line. That one is no good. Knutson gets some air there to grab the rebound. Knutson to Jacoby Meerman in the front court. Meerman, bounce pass down low to Camden Phipps. Instead, he loses it.
Yeah,
Thomas Martian gets the steal.
Brooks is the one who got his hand in there and knocked the ball around a little bit. Martian was his recipient.
And a nice pass inside from Segrist to Caleb Brooks for 2. The Raiders pull within 1, 6-5, with 3.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Phipps backs his way in on Thomas Martian, puts a shoulder in. It's no good. Segrist grabs the rebound, but those two are battling in the post.
Absolutely. A lot of contact there. No call.
Here's Daylor Segrist for the Raiders. Gets it to Minka Hawley. Down low to Martian. Martian backs his way on
my
Phipps.
turn.
And he puts up the shot, no good, and Phipps grabs the rebound. Those two, 165, 166.
Yeah.
Both, I would assume, football players.
Oh, yeah, we know one of them is.
We know. And then Jacoby Meerman hits the three at the other end. Yes, we know Martian is, but we can assume, I think, it's pretty safe to say that Meerman is as well. I'm sorry, that Phipps is. Here's Meerman driving at the other end as they get this steal. And that's it with Harrisburg. They can turn something like that and transition into points so quickly.
Yeah, their points off turnovers are just incredible.
11-5. It's a 5-0 run there by here's another one, Van Bakker, and gets the steal. And he is going to lay it in at the other end. First basket for Braden Van Bakker, and now 13-5. Here's Minka Hawley from the right baseline, and he knocks it down. Nice jumper there by Minka Hawley. Jacoby Meerman in the front court, crossover dribble, gets in the lane, Kicks it outside. They're going to work it around. It's going to be Van Bakkeren for three.
Boy, he was just on fire yesterday from downtown. He was so smooth. He's got the great wrist flip. And
9-point lead now, 16-7 for the Tigers. Just under 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Caden Dowling yelling instructions for the Raiders. He's going to work around the screen. Pass inside to Mardian. Mardian pump fakes, puts up the shot. He will get the basket and one.
Yeah, I think he got just enough separation from Phipps. Phipps gave him a little bit of room, but then when Martin went back up, Phipps stepped back into him and got that foul.
So that is the first on Camden Phipps. That'll be the first team foul for the Harrisburg Tigers. Will Dortch checks in, a 5'10 senior wearing number 4 for the Raiders. The free throw no good for Marty, and it goes out of bounds, and Tigers have the basketball. A minute 41 to go on the State Farm scoreboard, 16-9, a 7-point Tigers lead. In this game coming your way on Fox Sports Rapid City as well as GoRaidersLive.com. Meerman from the left elbow puts up the jumper, no good. Sobzak, a rebound for the Raiders. Outlet pass to Segrist. He'll work his way in the front court on the near side. Segrist around the screen to the left. Gets to the elbow, passes to Sobzak. Sobzak gives it back to Dortch. Now they get it back to Segrist, top of the key. Segrist looking inside. Bounce pass goes to Holly. Madinko Holly back to Gebhardt. Now to Holly, top of the key. Down to 10 seconds. Holly driving, puts up a shot. No good, but a whistle against number 2, Ethan Detterman, I believe.
Yeah, good job by Holly. Again, like nothing going on, so he's like, I got to do this myself, and just takes off into there.
That's the first on Ethan Detterman, second team foul. Madinko Holly, the 6'4 junior at the free throw line. Makes good on that one. That free throw is good. His first points. 6-point lead for the Tigers. Raiders doing everything they can to try to stay in this one. Holly makes both free throws. We're going to get a substitution. Caden Dowling set to check back in. Taylor Segrist will sit for the remainder of this first quarter. Get a well-deserved rest.
So the Harrisburg Tigers had to do some statistical work here. They average about 14 points off of turnovers per game.
Detterman shoots from the right baseline. No good. Collins grabs the rebound. That was Coleman.
Rejected by Minka Holly.
Connor Coleman's shot is no good.
Or Mendico, rather.
Yeah. Now Sobzak on that left wing gets around the screen. Wants to drive instead. Passes back to Holly. And a travel there on Madinko Holly. Made a nice move to the basket, but gets called for taking too many steps.
Yeah, it's amazing. So Kalen Brooks and both of the Hollies, they come out, they look good at times, and then they end up sitting for quite a while. Because I don't know if it's because they're not hustling or it's like they're spotty as far as what they do.
Meerman's going to shoot a three. That's no good. Sobzak went for the rebound.
He got it, and I think the Harrisburg player knocked it out, and but the official called it off Sobzak. Sobzak looks around and was like, what? Was that really off of me?
Meerman will trigger it in from the right baseline. Gets the ball in. It goes to Detterman. Detterman drives to his left. Passes back to Meerman. He'll set up the offense. We're down to 15 seconds in this first quarter. So the Tigers will hold for the final shot of the quarter. Detterman to Meerman. 8 seconds. Back over to... there's the three. That one is no good. Putting it up at the buzzer, or right before the buzzer.
Detterman there. He got the backside rebound. About 6 seconds they launched that shot. He gets the backside rebound. So, right now the Raiders hanging around enough.
They're hanging in there at the end of the first quarter on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. It's Harrisburg 16, Rapid City Stevens 11. We'll step aside for 30 seconds right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City and foxsportsrapidcity.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Welcome back to Carroll Hire Gymnasium on this Saturday afternoon to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. Jerome Wickersham and Dean Gurr with you on this Saturday afternoon. It'll be Harrisburg basketball leading by 5 to start this second quarter. Van Bakker gets the ball down low to Detterman. Detterman trying to dish it off. The ball goes out of bounds, and the Raiders able to force the turnover. Trying to stay with the Tigers this afternoon. Here's Caden Dowling in the front court. Dowling has the ball to Sobzak. Sobzak now. Right side, they go to Ethan Pisley, who's checked in, over to Segrist. Segrist, crossover dribble, gives the ball to Dowling. Dowling passes back to Segrist, top of the key. Now left side to Ethan Pisley. Pisley out to Gebhardt. 8 seconds on the shot clock. There's a long three there, and it's good for Daylor Segrist. Hey, welcome to the game, Daylor. That's what they've been looking for. At the other end, Ethan Detterman shoots the three. It's no good. Sobzak, another rebound, and the Raiders now with a chance to tie or take the lead. Caden Dowling is going to shoot the three. There's going to be illegal screen. It's Sobzak right in front of him. And Dowling is more of a... I've noticed he's more of a spot-up three. He gets it. It's not like he's a catch-and-shoot like Daylor can do. Daylor can spot up, but he's also a catch-and-shoot three type of player. Dowling gets it. He sort of spots up, takes his time, and so 6:54 remaining. Detterman dishes off to Knutson, and Knutson a tough shot, but he's able to bank it in for two. His first bucket, 18-14 now, a 4-point Tigers lead. Brooks kicks it outside to Dowling in that left corner, back to Segrist. Segrist, top of the key, hands the ball off to Dowling. Caden Dowling to Brooks at the top of the key. Brooks to Gebhardt. He'll dribble around the perimeter, go back to Segrist. Segrist to Brooks. Down to 8 seconds on the shot clock. Over to Segrist. Segrist spins. Into the left corner. Gebhardt forced to put the shot up. It's no good. And I think it hit the shot clock. So that'll go out of bounds, and Cody Brown will trigger it in for the Tigers. So right now they're doing, the Harrisburg Tigers doing a pretty good job of clamping down on Segrist. He tried to drive a couple of times and just wasn't there. Brown shoots a three at the other end, and it's nothing but net for Cody Brown, the 6'2 senior. 21-14, 7-point lead for the Harrisburg Tigers. Dowling drive, and he's going to get the basket. A nice spin move there, and then a lane to the basket for Caden Dowling. Yeah, definitely something you don't see often enough from him. You'd like to see it more. He's only 5'9", but he's not afraid to drive. Shot's no good at the other end. Knutson went for the rebound, and I think we're going to get a foul on the Raiders. It might be on Caleb Brooks. It is. And again, he was in foul trouble yesterday. Sat a lot. Big spark when he's in there, but Pisley's going to sit. Minka Hawley's going to check in. A first on Caleb Brooks, second team foul against the Raiders. 5.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. 21-16 is your score. Van Bakker in the basketball. As they work it around, they go to Feldy, now to Meerman. He drives the right baseline, spins once again, dishes off to Knutson, and Knutson banks it in for two. Just a great cut. He drops in, double team, finds the cutter on the underneath side. Great look. 23-16, now back to a 7-point lead. Here's Gebhardt to Brooks. Brooks left side to Segrist. Segrist looking for the screen, now gets around to his right. Had the ball knocked out of his hands. He picks it back up. They go right to Gebhardt. Now to Brooks in the low post. Brooks backs his way in, trying to get it outside to Segrist, but it's going to be stolen by Jacoby Meerman. Meerman to Van Bokeren for three at the other end, and it's nothing but net for Braden Van Bokeren. Boy, again, they're continuing to take advantage of turnovers. Van Bokeren had 5 threes yesterday, and already his second one in this contest this afternoon. 4:45 remaining in the second quarter on the State Farm scoreboard. Harrisburg leading Rapid City Stevens by 10, 26-16. For all of your office, shop, and storage needs, choose Quality Commercial Properties, LLC, at the Samco Business Plaza. Quality, affordable, and reliable. There's nothing better on the west side of Rapid City. Call 605-721-9777. Quality Commercial Properties, LLC, at the Samco Business Plaza. Going back to our pregame keys to the game, turnovers, we said turnovers and rebounds are going to be so huge for the Raiders. They're doing an average job in the rebound department, but boy, are they just turning the ball over. The Harrisburg Tigers just too good. Hands are in the passing lanes, and they just get after it so well. They're so athletic. And we've said this multiple times now. They're not like a 10-6 team coming in. I think they're one of the top 3. Definitely, I was very shocked in December. It's like, what's going on here? I thought they were arguably the best. I'll give you that. But, that and Jefferson, and now all of a sudden they're down, but they've recovered. Raider basketball coming out of this timeout. It's going to be Gebhardt to Minka Hawley. Minka wants to drive, takes a step back, shoots the three. That one's no good. Battle for the rebound. Feldy gets the ball into the front court to Dieterman. Dieterman back to Feldy. Now to Detterman. Down low, Meerman. Baseline turnaround jumper is short, no good. The ball's tapped out. That is ridiculous. Van Bokeren shoots the three. That one's no good. Same player again. That's Max Knutson, our player to watch for Harrisburg. He just flies in there. Guess what? He is not boxed out. I said this yesterday. I've been kind of watching it closely. What teams box out well, or how well do teams in general box out? It's surprising. You got a player who just flies in from out of nowhere, tips the ball to his own teammate in another shot. Wasn't it yesterday he flew in there and even knocked over his own teammate? Yep. Here's Knutson, who gets a steal at the other end, gets the ball to Meerman, now into the front court, but it's going to be Hawley who gets the steal for the Raiders. Hawley to Segrist. Segrist back to Hawley on this near side. Now they go to Segrist, top the key, left side over to Dowling. Dowling gets around the screen, thought about a three. Instead, he picks it up. Dowling gets the ball to Segrist. Segrist open for the three, and he knocks it down. Second tray of the ball game for the sophomore, Gaylor Segrist. And both of his threes are not anywhere near the three-point line. He's got a lot of room out there. 26-19 at the other end. Detterman drives, and he banks it in for two as he drove that left baseline for his fourth point. 28-19. Trying to work it inside, but the steal by Detterman. Very sound defensive team is the Tigers. They just read the pass so well. Van Bokeren, he drove that left baseline, but Mandinka Hawley trying to get in there just to help defensively. He's just way late. I don't know if he was the secondary rotating defender over there, but either way, he was late and just gets the foul and puts him on the line. So Hawley picked up his third team foul. Braden Van Bokeren at the free throw line makes that one. He has 5 points in the contest now. Actually, correction on that. He has 9 points in the ball game. Doing my math right here. Make that 10 for Braden Van Bokeren. 11-point lead with 3 minutes remaining in this second quarter for the Harrisburg Tigers over the Rapid City Stevens Raiders in boys basketball action this afternoon. Gebhardt the basketball, backdoor pass to Dortch. Now they go to Segrist. Segrist kicks it out to Hawley. Hawley from the left wing. Shoots the jumper, no good. Battling for the rebound. Dortch comes away with it, puts up the shot, no good. It's tapped out. Hawley laying on the ground gets the rebound. How fortuitous. And Segrist gets the three from the top of the key. Wow, what a possession. The ball gets tapped around, but Nico Hawley's laying on the ground, gets it out to Segrist, who casts in the three. At the other end, Ethan Detterman answers as he drives the lane and puts it in for two. He has 6 points now. 32-22 is your score. Here's Holly driving that baseline. And I think we're going to get Knutson called for the foul.
Yeah, I get it. Holly's got some moves, so he's not easy to guard. He's kind of long and lanky, so he can make some moves, make some spins here and there, and I think Knutson just trying to keep him in front of him.
Taylor Segrist triggers it in. He gets it outside to Brooks. Brooks to Gebhardt. Gebhardt drives to his left, passes back to Segrist. He'll shoot another three. That one is short, no good. The rebound in the hands of Detterman. Detterman to Feldy. He'll cross the timeline on that far side. He'll drive to the right baseline, underneath, and he stepped out of bounds. He dished it off to number 3, Ian Jordan, but he stepped out of bounds as he was driving the baseline. So the Raiders now, with just under 2 minutes to play, they trail by 10. Like we said, doing everything they can to try to stay with this Tigers team. Will Dortch the basketball at midcourt. Bounce pass right side to Tyler Portlock, who's checked in. Portlock to Dortch. He's directing traffic. Back to Portlock. Little pick and roll there, but it's stolen by Merriman. Jacoby Merriman in the front court to Camden Phipps. Now backdoor pass to Detterman. He puts up a tough shot, no good. We're going to get a whistle as the rebound to Will Dortch, and Detterman is whistled for the push.
Yeah, he's just in the... Gets that shot up, comes down, it doesn't happen.
Well, not Detterman, I'm sorry, Ian Jordan.
Yeah, and
first.
Dortch kind of has him sealed where he wants him and just gets the pushing foul. Down here, you can't be sloppy. Back in this last possession, you can't be sloppy. Their little pick and roll is a great play, but it was such a sloppy pass. It was too far ahead of Caleb Brooks, and it's too easy to steal.
Brooks on the elbow, gets it to Segrist. Now he passes out to Gebhardt. He'll shoot the baseline jumper. It's good for Hayden Gebhardt. His first bucket, and it's an 8-point Tigers lead, 32-24 on the State Farm scoreboard. Dips in the low post, backs his way in on Brooks, turns to the right, spins to the right, shots no good. Segrist the rebound. Raiders in a hurry, get into the front court. Segrist now top of the key, being guarded by Jordan. Gets around the screen, puts up the three, no good. Flying in there was number 0.
Yeah, Jivan Maharaj. We hardly ever saw him.
We don't see him very much.
No, and we saw him last year. I loved his effort. I thought maybe he would see more time. So, I'm not in the locker room, so I don't know the specifics of what's going on, but it's good to see him in the game.
He gets called for his first with 35 seconds remaining. 8-point lead for the Tigers. Detterman, the basketball, drives to the left elbow, now back to his right. He'll give the ball to Feldy. Braden Feldy to Jacoby Merriman. Merriman, crossover dribble. Into Phipps, now to Van Bakkeren. Van Bakkeren down low. The ball is out to Phipps. Phipps drives the baseline, and it's knocked out of bounds by Caleb Brooks.
Yeah, it looked like Phipps ran someone over. I thought he was going to be a foul on Gebhardt. He's still holding his spot because he ran into big 33.
12 seconds remaining. Phipps to Merriman. Merriman pump fakes. Now he shoots the three from the corner, and it's good.
How about that pump fake? He got Gebhardt airborne and created extra room.
There's the shot at the buzzer by Taylor Segrist. It's no good. And that's going to do it. That's the end of the first half here at Carroll Tire Gymnasium. On the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. It's Harrisburg 35, Rapid City Stevens 24. We're back in 1 minute with the halftime show right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City, and also on GoRaidersLive.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Used cars cars, used trucks, used sport utilities. Find them all at Danny Menholt Rapid Chevrolet. Shop over 300 used cars, trucks, and SUVs, GMCs, Rams, Fords, imports, and more. Many late model local trades. Plus, used and certified pre-owned Chevys with qualified credit buy with no money down and make no payments for 90 days. 16 local and national lenders available and all applications accepted. Shop the Black Hills best selection in person at Danny Menholt Rapid Chevrolet or DannyMenholtRapidChevrolet.com. Used cars.
Welcome back to Carroll Hire Gymnasium, to the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail broadcast booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. I'm Jerome Wickersham alongside Dean Gurr. This is the halftime show on Fox Sports Rapid City. The Harrisburg Tigers leading the Rapid City Stevens Raiders in boys basketball this afternoon. 35-24 is your score. The Raiders trailed by 5 at the end of the first quarter, 16-11. And then the Tigers outscore the Raiders 19-13 in that second quarter to lead here by 11 at halftime. And Jacoby Mearman, too. Was it him that had the big shot right before the end of the first half? But nonetheless, we knew that the Tigers were going to come out, and play their game. But the Raiders doing the best they can to try to stay in this one.
Yeah, and it's funny because you look at the stats, the stats kind of lie sometimes. It's a little bit of an enigma. You look at them here, you like shooting percentage. Okay, the Raiders shot 43%. The Tigers shot 44%. Mm-hmm. Not bad. Shooting from downtown, 46% for the Tigers, 40% for the Raiders. Not too bad either. 11 shots to 10 shots. So not bad. Obviously, the Raiders took less shots, so their percentage is the same, but they got less points out of it. I got it. And then the rebounds are very similar, 15-13, offensive 6-4. A lot of similarities there. And then you look at the big fat number that glares at you, 13 turnovers by the Raiders. And I swear that the Harrisburg Tigers probably capitalized on every one of those turnovers, and just shows the difference, the reason why Harrisburg took 32 shots and the Raiders only took 21. 13 turnovers in the first half alone. You want under 10 for the game. That's usually goals that coaches put out there for their game, and so that's obviously the big glaring number, just taking care of the basketball. Other than that, the shots, it's all been about even, but you're saying, how in the world can this be even? It's a 9, 11-point game out there right now. 13 turnovers. That's all I got to say. 13 turnovers.
And only 5 for the Tigers.
Right.
So they're on pace to keep it single digits. As we look at the scoring in the first half for the Raiders, 9 points for Daylor Segrist, all in that second quarter as he hit 3 big three-pointers. So 9 points for Daylor Segrist. We talked about, is he going to show up tonight? I think he did in that second quarter. Also 5 points for Caden Dowling. And then 2 points each for Hayden Gephardt, Madinko Hawley, Caleb Brooks, Thomas Mardian, and Minka Hawley. For the Harrisburg Tigers at halftime, they're led by Jacoby Mearman with 12 points, 5 field goals in the first half, and 2 from beyond the arc. 10 points for Braden Van Bakern, 6 points for Ethan Detterman, 4 for Max Knutson, and 3 for Cody Brown. Dean, when you look at these two teams in this first half, like we said, the Raiders trying to, stay with this Tigers team. Any adjustments? What kind of game? What do we expect here in the second half?
Well, it's pretty simple. The Raiders, have to be able to take care of the basketball. They have to knock down more shots, more percentage shots, and they have to really just take care of it. I mean, that's pretty glowing out there. They're trying to make moves, and right now the Harrisburg Tigers are doing what they do. They get hands where they're not supposed to be for the Raiders, and they just knock balls away, either steal them or tip them away, and turn those points immediately, or turn those turnovers into points immediately. So that's what it comes down to. So if the Raiders even think of getting back into this, it's only an 11-point game, so not horrible. They even think about getting back into this, that's what it's going to have to be. It's going to have to be, points on a majority of their possessions significantly, and limiting the Harrisburg Tigers to one and done.
So again, it's the halftime show right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. Harrisburg leading Rapid City Stevens 35-24 is your score here at the break. We're going to step aside for one more minute. When we come back, we'll check some scores for you, and we'll get you set for the second half. We'll do that in 1 minute right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City, and foxsportsrapidcity.com, as well as GoRaidersLive.com.
You're doing a lot. Maybe you're starting a family, building a home, growing a business. Security First Bank knows your life is constantly changing. And while our commitment remains constant, we're changing too, with tools, technology, and new products from people you trust. For all the ways you're changing and all the things you're doing, we're the bank. Security First Bank. Member FDIC.
To Carroll Hire Gymnasium, to the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail broadcast booth, sales, service, and recreation. Jerome Wickersham and Dean Gurr with you on this Saturday afternoon. Our sixth and final game of the week, and right now at halftime, it's Harrisburg leading Rapid City Stevens in boys basketball action 35-24. Just looking at some scores from earlier, a game you heard right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. It was Harrisburg over Rapid City Stevens in girls basketball action. The final score there, 55-40, as Harrisburg gets the win, improves to 14-3 on the year. Rapid City Stevens drops to 12-5. For the Rapid City Central Cobblers, a big win for them this afternoon in girls basketball. They defeat Yankton 73-35. Rapid City Central's Aaliyah Jones dropped in 38 points, which is the Cobbler's single-game scoring record. She broke the previous record, which was 36 points, by Jordan Heckert. So congratulations to Aaliyah Jones and the Cobblers as they play their final regular season home game, and they get a win at home. Just a big win, just a big confidence boost for them, as well as the first win for their head coach, Jackie Schaefer.
Yeah, it definitely is going into that big game. This game on Thursday now, right here at Carroll Hall Gymnasium between the Cobblers and the Raiders, just got much more interesting as the Raiders are looking to get a big win. They got a big one yesterday. Probably should have been a better win, but were able to get one. Unfortunately, didn't get the win today, so that getting down to the last few games, they desperately need that one to be able to host the SODAC 16 game. And, of course, the Cobblers trying to stay in the SODAC race just all together to be able to play. You know, Spearfish is pretty solid. You know, Sturgis and Douglas are kind of struggling, but they don't want to be one of the ones on the outside looking in.
Absolutely. And then one last score to pass along for the boys this afternoon. Yankton defeats Rapid City Central 74-53. So the Bucks come out here and they get the sweep. So they get the sweep coming out here, defeating the Raiders yesterday and the Cobblers today.
They were watching the Bucks yesterday. Boy, they get after the ball well. They are hard fought. There's a couple of brothers on there that do well. Michael Moores, which is Matthew Moore's younger brother, gets out there, plays well. They are very aggressive. And what's kind of amazing, they take just these wild shots sometimes. You're thinking, this is like playground shots when you're playing like 21 or something. I dare you can't make this shot or whatever. I'm falling down, I'm spinning around, whatever it is. Anyways, they throw those shots and they just seem to go in.
So the Raiders will have the basketball to start this third quarter, trailing by 11 to the Harrisburg Tigers. In boys basketball action, Right side, Hayden Gephardt as the Gephardt with the basketball. Out to Mandinko Holly, top the key. He'll give it to Dowling. Dowling to Sobczak, now to Segrist for three. That quick release, that's no good. Meerman the rebound. He'll race into the front court. Meerman slows it down now. There's the pass to Van Bakkeren, and he banks it in for two.
That was an incredible pass. I didn't see it. Was it behind the back? If not, it was close because just the way he was facing the wrong direction, and it hit it just perfect. Holly was right there, just could have knocked it away instead. It's a basket for the Tigers.
37-24, a 13-point lead now for the Tigers. 1 minute gone by here in this third quarter. Backing his way in is Holly. Holly puts up a tough shot. It's no good. Sobczak the rebound. It was a miss. Holly gets it back, and he can't get it to fall. It goes out of bounds, and the Tigers come away with it. So a couple of missed opportunities there for the Raiders, crashing the boards, but coming up empty.
Yeah, kind of like the girls' game earlier. They just absolutely could not buy a bucket today.
Van Bakkeren in that left corner, pump fakes, thought about a three. Instead, Meerman to Knutson, out to Detterman. Detterman over to Meerman. Meerman in the lane, the little Euro step, shot's no good. The ball's tapped out. Sobczak comes away with it. Sobczak to Segrist. He'll work his way into the front court to Gephardt. Gephardt in that right corner. Gephardt bounce pass to Holly. Holly baseline jumper is good for Mandinko Holly. That's 4 points now for the 6'4 junior. 37-26, an 11-point lead for the Tigers. There's a three at the other end. That one rims in and out, no good. Holly the rebound. Here come the Raiders trying to get out in transition. Now they slow it down. Caden Dowling the basketball, dribbles around the perimeter, crossover dribble back to his left, gives the ball to Gephardt. Gephardt in the lane, picks up his dribble, passes out to Holly. Mandinko Holly is going to shoot the three. That one is short, no good. Maybe not quite his shot. In the front court, Van Bakkeren wide open from the left side, and he cashes in for three.
That is his shot for sure. We saw it yesterday. We've seen it today already.
5 threes yesterday, already 3 trays today. A 14-point lead for the Tigers, their largest. 40-26 on the State Farm scoreboard. Mandinko Holly had the ball knocked out of his hands, but not before we got a quick timeout there by head coach Chris Stape.
Oh, you could tell his frustration. He was spinning around, kind of huffing around. It's like, okay, wait a minute. I've got a guy, ISO, right here, right at the free throw line. He's standing there looking around like, what do I do with this basketball here? Nobody in the team is helping. Nobody's cutting. Nobody underneath. It's like they threw it up to be ISO, and he didn't realize it. I don't know exactly what Coach Stabner wants in that situation, but I guarantee it's not what developed. So 5:33 to go in the third quarter, 40-26 on the State Farm scoreboard. Harrisburg going for their 4th straight win. Right now they lead the Raiders 40-26. Small crowd here on the Saturday afternoon games, but it's so nice out. It typically is a smaller crowd. So if you are catching the game, we appreciate that on radio this afternoon. We didn't have a band today, which we typically don't on a Saturday. But, that's okay. Holly, we kind of saw it early on. We thought, hey, maybe it's a little bit of varsity jitters, to get out here on the floor, playing some varsity ball. Wasn't quite sure. But, that was way back in, December or the end of December. We're thinking maybe he's kind of, progressed a little bit. Now he's sitting down, and the Raiders just struggling to move the ball.
Sobczak to Gephardt. Gephardt dribbling near the center circle, gives the ball off. They go to Dowling. Now Gephardt on the right wing. Gephardt looking inside. Caleb Brooks in the low post, and we're going to get a foul. And that will be on the Tigers. It's just a little corner work right there. They got it to Dowling over in the corner, rather Gephardt over in the corner. Brooks comes up. He's not there. He sets that screen. Segrist pops out. That's not there either. Braden Feldy got the foul, but on the inbounds play, Van Bakkeren drives and goes coast to coast for two. Just great body control there by all of the Tigers, and Van Bakkeren shows right there. 7 points in the quarter, all the points for Van Bakkeren for the Tigers. Caleb Brooks trying for the reverse. It is no good. He's fouled, though, And Kalen Brooks to the free throw line for the Raiders.
It was actually a great job by Harrisburg. They forced him to go to the backside of the rim, trying to do the up and under. What that does is it moves him right where the defender can drop back in and help out. Unfortunately, it was a foul on that, but that's kind of where you wanted him.
Jacoby Meerman picks up his second team foul. We have Will Dortch checking back in, as does number 23. That's Minka Holly. Here's Brooks with his second free throw. He missed the first, made the second. Has 3 points now. 42-27. Harrisburg with that lead by 15. 4:52 remaining in the third quarter. Meerman will shoot the three. That's no good. The ball's tapped around. It goes out to Knutson. Now to Van Bakker and to Detterman. He'll shoot the three. No good. Minka Holly, the rebound for the Raiders.
And again, it's Harrisburg. Van Bakker just reaches in there, gets a tap, gets a second chance.
They work it to Brooks in the low post. His shot was contested. No good. He made a pump fake and tried, but no good. And then we're going to get a charging foul on Ethan Detterman at the other end.
Yeah, a good hustle that time by the Raiders getting back on D. I thought maybe Detterman might have seen it. It's like, look, he's right there. Either I see him, I'm going to kick it, or I see him, I'm going to make a spin move. Instead, I don't know why he just decided to go through him.
Ethan Detterman picking up his second. Taylor Segrist will trot into the front court for the Raiders. He gets it to Sobzak. Sobzak to Segrist. Now to Minka Holly. Holly down low to Brooks in the low post. Brooks up strong, puts up the shot, no good. He works so hard. Now a scramble for the loose ball. Harrisburg picks it up. They go to Detterman in the front court. Detterman, crossover dribble, drives. There's the scoop shot, no good. The ball's tapped around. It is Plack who keeps it alive, but a foul against the Raiders. So number 20, Maddox Plack, who's checked in the ball game.
We saw him come in yesterday, played super well. Again, just a reminder from yesterday, Maddox is playing with kind of a heavy heart. His father passed away last week or earlier this week, and wasn't going to come, but told Coach, you know what, hey, I'm going to do it. Just get my mind off of it. And so he comes down here. So our thoughts and prayers to his family.
Van Bakker misses the shot. Dortch grabs the rebound, gets it ahead to Ethan Pisley in the front court. Pisley to Holly, trying to backdoor pass to Portlock, but it's going to be stolen by Meerman. Meerman to Detterman in the front court. Detterman to Meerman. They reverse it. Right side goes to Feldy. Braden Feldy, the basketball, out front. And I think I thought they were going to call a double dribble, but Ethan Detterman the ball out of bounds.
He had it. I think he lost it, but I think a Raider kind of tipped it, so he continued after it and just had the body lean and couldn't come up with it.
3:24 to go in the third quarter, still 42-27. That 15-point lead for the Tigers. Pisley to Tyler Portlock, back to Pisley. He'll shoot the three. That one off the left side of the iron, no good. Dortch tried to save it. I think he might have took his eyes off the basketball and just lost it as he tried to grab it.
Well, in a way, he has to. He's going out of bounds. He's got to look back. Where's my teammates? I'm going to try to get it to him. And then I think when he did, the ball kind of rolled out of his hand.
Braden Feldy gets into the front court. Cody Brown is checked in. Brown to Detterman. Detterman drives in the lane, spins to his left. And he's going to bank it in for two.
Get a great ball fake in midair.
Minka Holly shoots a three at the other end and cashes in. He has 5 points off the bench for the Raiders. 14-point Tigers lead, 44-30 on the State Farm scoreboard. 2:40 remaining in the third. Braden Feldy the basketball to Van Bakker, and he tries to answer, and he does at the other end.
Boy, how important is Van Bakker and Knutson to this team? He's tipping balls. He can just so dangerous from the perimeter, and Knutson just getting after balls and tipping them right into his teammates' hands.
Minka Holly to Will Dortch in the right corner. Dortch gets it to Brooks in the low post. Whoa. He tried to whip it to Pisley in the left corner. Instead, it almost takes out a player there.
Yeah, that was Maddox Plack, who was just being there, taking away a lane, and the ball right in a face. Next thing you know, we're going to be wearing face masks here on the court.
It'll be Raider basketball. Tyler Portlock will trigger it in from the right baseline. Gets the ball into Minka Hawley. He's going to shoot the three from the corner. Bounces around the rim, no good. Meerman the rebound. Jacoby Meerman works his way into the front court. Thomas Mardian getting set to check in. Meerman
going the other way.
And a charging foul on Meerman. He drives and then dishes and gets called for the foul.
Well, it's like he was driving. He knew he was going to get cut off. Exactly what we talked about the last player control foul. He knew he was going to get cut off, so he kicks it out. But his momentum just kind of carries him. It's not like he tried to stop. He just thought, I'm just going to move right in and just, hey, I'll just plow this guy over. Guess what? That's a player control foul.
Down to the 2-minute warning in the third quarter. Still a 17-point Harrisburg lead. Portlock to Pisley on the right wing. Pisley trying to get it down low to Marty, and that was a risky pass. It goes out of bounds. It'll stay Raider basketball, but definitely risky.
Well, what happens is it's not quick. You see Harrisburg move the ball, it's quick. It was, I'm going to read you, how are you going to move, how do I got to throw it? And by that time, Harrisburg has read it themselves, adjusted, and moved.
There's Maharaj. He's in the ball game. We're going to get a pushing foul.
Yeah, that's going to be on Cody Brown. So Maharaj, again, haven't seen him all season, comes in, tries to make a play here.
I think this is the first game we've seen him this season. Mardian to Maharaj. Now right side to Portlock. Portlock around the perimeter, back to the wing. Passes to Pisley. And they throw it away, trying to get it to Holly. So Jacoby Meerman works his way into the front court on the far side. Over to Jordan. They reverse it. Knutson now to Brown for three. That's an air ball. Trying to save it was Jordan. Instead, it goes out of bounds. Taylor Segrist will check in.
Boy, with 1:26 here to go in the third, they need a big run here to close out this third quarter, give them some momentum in the fourth.
Trailing by 17. Minka Hawley in the front court. Hawley to Portlock. Portlock back to Hawley. Now to Maharaj. Maharaj picks up his dribble, gets it to Mardian. Mardian in the paint, backs his way on Camden Phipps. Mardian has the shot blocked by Phipps.
And we saw Phipps do that yesterday against the Cobblers.
Meerman, crossover dribble, drives hard to the basket, banks it high. No good, but Meerman gets the rebound.
It's tapped out by Phipps. And again, they just get hands in there and they just tip it around like a little volleyball.
Here's Plack, the basketball. Now they reverse it left side to Brown, back to Meerman. Down to 43 seconds. Meerman to Phipps in the low post, spins to the baseline, puts up the shot, and it is good.
And Phipps, I got the block on this side. My turn to do offense, and he does it.
He just muscles his way in there. So big and so strong is Camden Phipps. Minka Hawley the basketball, and a 5-second violation on Minka Hawley at the other end.
Yeah, the Raiders, again, they're just not moving where they need to be. When Thomas Martin had the ball on that last possession, I thought, at least like Segrist or somebody needs to roll around and get back up top, but instead there were two players standing on the other side of the lane and not moving anywhere. The court spacing is so important.
14 seconds remaining. Jacoby Meerman the basketball at midcourt. Tigers holding for that final shot. They lead by 19. Meerman in the lane, drives hard, puts up the shot, no good. He's fouled. And Jacoby Meerman, scoreless in the second half, goes to the free throw line.
I think they've done a fairly good job of forcing him into poor shots or forcing him to kind of dish the ball out. Unfortunately, he's got plenty of teammates to help him out. Definitely Van Bockert is just Mr. Downtown. Might have to call him that from now on. It's so smooth. He's got the quick release. He's got the reverse rotation on it. Just looks so pretty.
It does. 3 seconds now after two free throws. There's Segrist. He'll launch it at the buzzer. It's no good. Two free throws by Jacoby Meerman, though. And at the end of the third quarter, on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick, Harrisburg 51, Rapid City Stevens 30. We're back with fourth quarter action in 1 minute right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City, and GoRaidersLive.com.
Where can you get surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance? At State Farm. I'm State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for protecting your car and your stuff for surprisingly great rates. So stop looking around. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, for surprisingly great auto and renter's rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Hi.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. It's Tiger basketball to start this fourth quarter. The shot by Meerman, no good. Sobzak grabs the rebound. 51-30 is your score. Harrisburg leading Rapid City Stevens in boys basketball action. 7:35 remaining. And now another turnover. Segrist trying to get it to Gebhardt, but he throws it out of bounds.
Yeah, they're just, again, not on the same page. And this is, boy, just very frustrating for a coach. You dial up something amazing, and just a simple pass just can't execute.
Driving is Detterman now. Ethan Detterman makes a little move to his right, and he's going to bank it in for two.
Yeah, he did a great job reading the defense. He got there, took the little step, body control, got it in.
At the other end, Nash Sobzak to Minka Holly, or to Madinko.
Madinko cashing it in from downtown.
It's a three there to make it 53-33 now. 20-point lead for the Tigers. They work it down low. Camden Phipps in the low post. Backs his way in once again. Kicks it to Knutson, now out to Meerman. They go back to Detterman, to Phipps again in the low post. The ball is loose. Caden Dowling picks it up. So they were double-teaming.
Yep, a great double team by Sobzak.
Sobzak drives at the other end. Shot's no good. The ball is loose, picked up by Segrist. He puts up the shot, no good. And we're going to get, I think, Segrist, he gets the ball away from Knutson, but I think they're going to call him for the foul.
Yeah, it's a foul before he grabbed him. And is it?
That's going to be the first on Daylor Segrist, third team foul. 6.5 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. Still a 20-point Harrisburg lead.
Yeah, they were going to get a hold. Caden Dowling was just trying to stay with Braden Feldy.
Mm-hmm. That's the first on Caden Dowling. Fourth team foul. And another hold. That's going to be the fifth team foul. They're going to get Nash Sobzak with his second.
You know, they're trying to put pressure. The problem is Harrisburg's very athletic, and you got to be able to play defense without holding them.
Ethan Detterman, the basketball, left side to Van Bakker, and he pump fakes, drive the baseline, dishes off to Knutson, have the ball stripped, and the Raiders come away with it. We're going to get a late whistle there. Is that a foul against the Raiders?
Yeah, I didn't see exactly what happened. Was it the hit? It must have been the hit.
Yeah, because I didn't see it either. Was it a technical foul?
Yeah, and
on Caden Dowling.
Yeah. And Alan Schmaltz explained to Coach Stabner what Caden Dowling did.
And again, I didn't see it either. I saw the strip there. They get it away from Knutson, and then a technical on Caden Dowling.
Yeah, he must have just said something when he knocked it away. It was a great play, great knock all of a sudden, but he said something loud enough that Alan Schmaltz heard it, walked over to Coach Stabner, didn't even argue it. He looked at it, he's like, okay, turns and walks away. In the usual frustration we've seen, unfortunately for him, most of the season.
Jacoby Meerman makes both free throws. He has 16 points on the season. 16 points in the game. He averaged double figures on the season. Here's Van Bakkeren in that left corner. Backdoor pass trying to get it to Knutson. It goes out of bounds, and the Raiders come away with it. Just couldn't handle it. Looked like Kalen Brooks was kind of all over him. No call on that one. Just a little over 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, 55-33. Here's Will Dortch, pass to Brooks. Brooks puts up the shot, bounces around the rim, no good, battles for the rebound, goes out of bounds, and it stays Raider basketball. I've noticed kind of in general, this is kind of more of a generalized statement. The Raiders, they really struggle when there's contact to finish a shot, and I think that's something Coach Stabner's really got to work on. Knutson gets the steal, tries to pass ahead in transition to Meerman. It goes out of bounds, and it's going to stay Harrisburg basketball. Yeah, it is, and I think the crowd doesn't like it. But how about that incredible play? He's fouling away over on the sideline, gets the pass, and it's an opportunity for his team. Van Bakkeren shoots the three from the corner. Mr. Downtown, headband and all. Had 5 3-pointers yesterday and has 5 today. 58-33, a 25-point lead for the Tigers. Just about 5.5 minutes to go. They try to work it inside to Kalen Brooks. We're going to get a foul against the Tigers. I think that's Jacoby Meerman picking up his third. 6th team foul. We're going to get a big-time line change here coming in for the Raiders. 5 new players in. They'll go with Tyler Portlock, Maharaj, Minka Hawley, Thomas Mardian, and Ethan Pisley. Portlock goes to Hawley. Minka Hawley wants to drive, takes a step back, shoots the long jumper, no good. Ethan Detterman gets the rebound, gets into the front court, left side to Brown, now back to Meerman. They'll go to Braden Feldy out front. Detterman the basketball in the lane, drives hard in the basket and puts it in for 2. 12 points for Ethan Detterman this afternoon. 60-33 now as the lead continues to climb for the Harrisburg Tigers with just under 5 minutes to play here in the contest. Getting the steal is Braden Feldy. He goes coast to coast and gets the layup at the other end. That's going to be the epitome of the frustration of the Raiders. They're not quick enough to get that ball. The turnover goes the other direction. Points for Harrisburg. That's just the story of the day right there. Maharaj drives the baseline, kicks the ball out to Feldy, or another one. Kicks it out, and Feldy gets the steal to Meerman, and Meerman misses the dunk. Getting the rebound, though, is going to be Connor Coleman. He gets it to Detterman. He'll shoot the 3, and everything going right now for the Harrisburg Tigers. It definitely is. We're just going to get a substitution timeout here real quick to get some other players in the game, and I guess they're going to keep it. And then talk it over, and Coach Stabner's like, all right, obviously we're not going to get after the ball enough to win this game today. These guys are going to shoot lights out. We can't get a hand in their face good enough to cause issues. So we have 4:12 remaining on the State Farm scoreboard, and Harrisburg leading Rapid City Stevens 65-33. For all of your office, shop, and storage needs, choose Quality Commercial Properties, LLC, at the Samco Business Plaza. Quality, affordable, and reliable. There's nothing better on the west side of... Gets his own rebound. Pisley's going to shoot another 3. That one is good. Yeah, you can't leave him alone. We saw him earlier this year. The big-time spark for the Raiders, and there he is. 65-36. Harrisburg in command of this one. We're down to 3.5 minutes to play. Kusler the basketball, left side. They get it over to Jordan. Now to Brown. Brown bounce pass to Coleman, and it's going to be a steal by Caleb Brooks. Brooks in the front court, trying to go coast to coast. A nice spin move, puts up the shot, no good. The ball's tapped around. Brown saves it to Brooks. Brooks puts up the shot and banks it in for two.
How about that? That was almost an amazing shot by Brooks. He couldn't get it to fall, but he's right there and is the recipient of the turnover under his own hoop.
5 points for Caleb Brooks. 65-38 is your score. Just under 3 minutes to play. Harrisburg with the lead. Here's Brown. Get it to Coleman. Coleman in the low post. Kicks it outside to Brown. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Now Jordan in that right corner. He and Jordan out to Kusler. They work it around the perimeter. Tryon down low to Coleman. Coleman sends it outside to Kusler. Down to 5 seconds now. Kusler drives. He gets the ball to Coleman, and he's going to bank it in for two. First basket for Colin Coleman.
Another great possession. Choose up time and get points out of it.
2 minutes and 25 seconds remaining now. 29-point lead, 67-38. Here's Brooks to the right elbow. Brooks gets rid of the ball to Dortch. Now they go back to Brooks. Brooks to Mardian. Mardian backs his way in on Coleman to the baseline, puts up the shot. That's no good. Ian Jordan the rebound for the Tigers. Jordan to Tryon in the front court. Now cross-court pass. They go to Kusler. He's going to shoot the three, and it's off the mark. No good. Coleman grabs the rebound, gets it back to Kusler. Now right side to Tryon. They reverse it. Kusler left side to Brown. Down low to Coleman in the post. There's a backdoor pass, but Jordan couldn't handle it. And we're going to get another substitution, and this will be Raider basketball. Connor Coleman checks in. And I think it's Maharaj will come in for the Raiders. Now, how do you say his first name? It's Jiven. Jiven. Okay. Will Dortch to Portlock. Portlock. Backdoor pass to Mardian. Mardian banks it in for two. 4 points for Thomas Mardian. 27-point lead for Harrisburg. We're down to 1:05 to play. 67-40 on the State Farm scoreboard. Our post-game show coming up next right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. Brown bounce pass to Coleman in the low post. Being guarded by Mardian. He backs his way in, spins into the paint, puts up the shot, no good. A battle for the rebound. Coleman kicks it out, and the Tigers keep it alive. Here's Kusler, the basketball. Hands it off to Tryon. Now back to Kusler. He's wide open from the corner for three. That one is no good. Maharaj, the rebound for the Raiders. Works his way into the front court, down to 35 seconds now. Maharaj bounce pass to Dortch, looking inside for Mardian. Instead, they go to Pisley. He'll shoot the three. That one is good for Ethan Pisley. 67-43. A 24-point lead now for Harrisburg. We're down to 16 seconds as Kusler will just dribble it out at midcourt there. Tigers on their way to their fourth straight win. Down to 3 seconds. There's the buzzer, and that is your ball game. On the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. Harrisburg gets the win over Rapid City Stevens. The final score, 67-43, is your final here at Carroll Higher Gymnasium. We'll step aside for 1 minute. The Pioneer Bank and Trust post-game show coming up next right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City, and foxsportsrapidcity.com.
This is Nate Brown reminding you to join the Nate Brown Show live weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. It's Rapid City's sports talk show and Rapid City's only call-in radio show. With big-name guests from across the country to the local sports coverage you just can't get anywhere else. Join the conversation every weekday for thought-provoking sports talk. This is your show. Don't miss the Nate Brown Show from 4 to 6 p.m. on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. And stream us all the time at foxsportsrapidcity.com. Hi, this is...
And welcome back to Carroll Higher Gymnasium to the Pioneer Bank and Trust post-game show. Pioneer Bank and Trust is proud to support high school sports. They want to be your trusted local partner for all of your banking needs. Pioneer Bank and Trust is local. Visit them at pioneerbankandtrust.com. The final score here this afternoon at Carroll Higher Gymnasium in the boys' game. Harrisburg gets the win as they defeat Rapid City Stevens 67-43. So the Tigers head back to Eastern South Dakota with the sweep. They beat the Cobblers yesterday, the Raiders today. So now with the win, the Tigers improve to 11-6 on the year. With the loss, the Raiders now drop 4 straight, and they drop to 4-12. Again, they were 17th in the Class AA seeding points coming into this ballgame, trying to make that top 16 to get into the SODAC 16. Nonetheless, again, the Raiders came out. You know, they only trailed by 5 at the end of the first quarter. They gave a valiant effort this afternoon, Dean, but again, the Tigers just do so many things so well.
Yeah, when you get points off turnovers, shoot incredible from long distance, and create turnovers, I mean, those are just 3 huge things right there. They shot 40%, did the 43% from downtown did Harrisburg, 45% for the game, but forced 21 turnovers by the Raiders. That's just hard to come back. And then when you're trying to come back in the second half, you know, you're down and you only shoot 28%. Yeah, that doesn't help your cause either. So their defense is incredible. They shoot well. They force turnovers. Just a complete team, the Harrisburg Tigers, and just a team that nobody wants to play coming in. I should go back and do some looking at the games between them and Jefferson and Lincoln. I don't know what they got coming up on their schedule, but those are just going to be some incredible games getting ready for the state tournament.
Oh, I think you're right. I think Harrisburg is definitely a team you do not want to have to face in that SODAC 16. Just breaking down the scoring for the Raiders, they were led by Daylor Segrist with 9 points all in the third quarter. He did not score again for the rest of the game. Then we also had 7 points for Madinko Hawley, 6 for Ethan Pisley, 5 points each for Caden Dowling, Caleb Brooks, and Minka Hawley, 4 points for Thomas Mardian, and 2 for Hayden Gephardt. At the other end for the Harrisburg Tigers, they were led by Braden Van Bakkeren for the second straight game. He had 20 yesterday, 23 today. He's hit 10 three-pointers in his last 2 games, or this weekend. So just a phenomenal shooter. 23 for Braden Van Bakkeren. And, again, he's just a junior. He's got another year left.
Yeah, absolutely. You want him on your team. And he did a couple other things as well. But, yeah, definitely just Mr. Downtown.
Absolutely. We had 16 points for Jacoby Meerman, 15 points for Ethan Detterman, 4 points for Max Knutson, 3 for Cody Brown, and then also 2 each for Braden Feldy, 2 for Camden Phipps, and 2 for Colin Coleman. So for the Raiders, again, looking ahead, they've got a little under a week now to prepare for their next game. They're down to their final, actually 4 games, because they did reschedule their Spearfish game. So they do have the Cobblers next week in the rival game on Friday night, and then they turn around that next Monday, Spearfish, and then they hit the road for the weekend in Eastern South Dakota. So tough schedule ahead for the Raiders. Like we said, trying to make that SODAC 16. The possibility is there, but it is a challenge.
Yeah, it is. And I think if they can win 2 of their last 4 games, I think they will make it in there. That's obviously just a very rough estimate. But, you know, they need something. But, you know, like you said, Spearfish, a tough team to play.
They are.
The Cobblers, they lost to them already in December of last year, so they got issues there. And, of course, and then Washington and Lincoln are not going to be easy games going into Sioux Falls. So, they, like you said, tough schedule heading in, but 2 winnable games for them, but they got to play well. They got to shoot well. There's a lot of those things. These things they have to clean up, crashing boards and the turnovers are just. I know we're going to talk about that probably another dozen times on Friday night when we do the Raider Cobbler game.
Now for the Harrisburg Tigers, they have 3 games remaining. They will be playing O'Gorman. They host O'Gorman next week, and then they will travel to Brandon Valley, and then they host Watertown. So that's how their three games.
Three tough games. Those are two or three quality teams, or even Watertown.
Yeah,
I think there may even be under 500 or as a record go, but they are a very tough team to play. They work really hard.
So again, this afternoon, Harrisburg gets the win over Rapid City Stevens, 67-43 is the final. You're listening to the Pioneer Bank and Trust post-game show right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. We'll step aside for one more minute. We'll come back to wrap things up with our highlight of the game and our player of the game. That's coming up next in 1 minute right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City, and online at foxsportsrapidcity.com.